Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and great millstone who will well. Peace and mercy to the Tazadak Akim out there that's laboring this truth with all sincerity. I want to say Shalom. All right, and today's topic is a basic lesson. Again going into just the dietary law, which is something that Israelites or you new listeners, should apply immediately. This is the dietary law is something that if you truly believe in the Lord, it's something that you can apply today, which is very basic. All right. It's no excuse. You don't want to have that, that spirit of Christians, which Lord willing, I'm going to go into the book of Acts, the 10th chapter, because a lot of Christians say that, the Lord, when he told Peter, he made all things clean. So that's the reason why they eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster still, But remember, the scriptures say when Yahushua was on the scene, he said what? He came to fulfill the law, not destroy the law. All right? So, and if you love the Lord, you would keep his commandments in John 14-15. Okay? So I want to get this in Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. And that's sin, because what is sin? Sin is the transgression of the law. So when you don't follow the law, the laws, all right, it leads to death. That's what sin is. Sin leads to death. All right. Now we understand that we're under the grace of Yahushua, but there are certain things, certain laws that we could keep, all right, to the best of our ability, all right, and especially the dietary law. That's a law that we can keep, all right. As the scriptures say, those who follow it in Baruch, all right, those who keep the laws come to life, all right, and ultimately that shows your faith, because faith without works is dead, okay. So let me get the book of Leviticus, and before I get that, I want to get the book of Sirach, because it is a balance when you do eat too. It's a balance, and you should have a balanced diet. All right, so this is the book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 30. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler, which is going into like being a glutton, because when you go in ancient times, eating meat was an actual like luxury. Like a lot of kings, had the delicacies of eating meat on a regular. When you go into the staple diet of an ancient Israel, it was bread, like lentils, grains, all right? And not saying we didn't eat meat, but it was like that was our staple, So now when we apply it today, yeah, we have more access to meats. So, when you eat in a certain diet, you don't want to eat meat excessively. So, for example, you don't want to eat in the morning turkey bacon, then you eat lunch, eating beef sausage, beef pepperoni, lamb, and then for dinner eat more meat. You know what I'm saying? It leads for your body to be inflamed, and it brings sickness, because now meat does bring mucus to your body. So everything I'm saying is in balance, because the scriptures say a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So we have to do all our work, all our walk, it has to be done with balance. Okay? So now I want to go to the book of Leviticus, going into the dietary law. All right? Because meat is lawful. You have unlawful meat and lawful meats, because you have a lot of holistic people who follow the Bible or quote scriptures. Let me say that they quote scriptures, but they don't have the full context. Like, yes, the Lord did make every barren herb and seed for us to consume, but it doesn't mean that, because they will say a lot of holistic people say meat is bad for you. You know what I'm saying? And he'll quote Genesis, and yes, the Lord did create herbs for us to consume, and those are have healing properties. But the Lord did make, all right, certain meats lawful and unlawful. So I just want to point that out. All right. Now, if you are a vegetarian, the only time you could eat meat, which is in balance. Let's say you're a vegetarian, most of the year, in the Passover, you have to eat the lamb. I personally know an individual who follows, the Israelite customs and know that they're Israelite, and they're vegetarian. They don't eat meat at all. Only time they eat meat is on the Passover, and they eat the lamb, which is you could do that, okay? But don't go around saying that, meat is basically, going off for eating meat. You know what I'm saying? So, like I'm bringing out, there's certain lawful meats you can eat and unlawful meats that you can't eat. So we're going to go into it. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and turned unto Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. All right. So he told Moses and Aaron to tell the children of Israel, all right, there's certain animals they could eat and they cannot eat. Very basic. Verse 3, whatsoever part of the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. All right. So we're gonna go into it, man. If I would just keep reading. Verse 5, and the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Okay, and I believe when you chew the cud, I think that's going into eating grass. Let me Google that real quick. Eating the cud. All right. Let me see. That's interesting. When animals such as cows or sheep chew the cud, they slowly chew their partly digested food over and over again in their mouth before finally swallowing it. Okay, makes sense. So I guess pig, they just eat the food without, makes sense. All right, so we're gonna go into the animals are clean. Okay, so you have, I'm not gonna read all, but I'm gonna just bring out some. All right, it tells you it cheweth the cud. You see the animal. It looks like a cow. All right, got cloven hooves, as you can see. All right, cheweth the cud. Okay, it makes sense. That they keep, they make sure the food that they're chewing is fully digested in their system. Okay. So it says bison or buffalo, which brothers eat. Beef. All right. You got elk. All right. You got lamb. All right. I'm gonna just stick to the ones I personally know. You got goat, which they say goat is one of the healthiest red meats you can eat. All right. Some brothers eat. I do see some certain, deer. I think deer is venison, if I'm not mistaken. And then it says, and then this is where it goes off. You see, it says veal, young beef. You can't eat veal. So these are the animals that are unclean. So you have lizard, bear, camel, cats, dogs. And you see the other nations eat a lot of cats and dogs. You got ham, pork, rabbit, snake, turtles. All right. So it says all rodents, reptiles, and amphibians, all insects are unclean except for locusts, crickets, and grasshoppers. Now, real quick, I wanted to get this real quick because this came to my mind. Veal is unclean. KJV. Let me see. I'm trying to find it because I know it says you can't eat nothing. You can't eat a young animal. I want to find that. Let me ask my chat real quick. Salakia. Veal is according to the Bible. Because a lot of people get tricked up. So I'm happy that we're going through this. This is edification. Okay. So now you see they're going to say, chat's going to say, no, the Bible is not classified. Veal is unclean. So but I'm going to say this. Let me see. See, yeah, this is saying you can't eat veal. Yep. So it says the key point, premature equals newborn under 7 days. All right. So you can't eat a premature animal. That's basically what veal is a premature animal. You know? Let's go deeper. Is veal. Yeah, you see you have certain veals that's 2-3 days old, a very young 2-3 day old veal. You know, on the safe side, I'm telling you, brothers, you know, sisters, you cannot eat veal. You know, you cannot eat veal. It's premature, you know. But going back to the scriptures, all right, now we're going to go. See how, you know, you got to be studious because they'll try to trip you up saying you can eat veal. You cannot eat veal, you know. So going back into verse, I'm going to read Leviticus 11, verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Or of their flesh shall ye not eat, or their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. All right, so, you know, like we mentioned, you can't eat pig, dogs, cats, rabbits, you know, octopus. All right, we're going to get into that. So it says, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever has fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. All right, so whatever fish has fins and scales, you can eat. So we're going to go into that. So I'm only going to mention fish that, I particularly eat. So you got the kingfish, you got pollock, all right? That's like a lot of Guyanese people, make this. You got porgy, red snapper. You got your bluefish. You got your cod, all right? You got your salmon, your sardines, mackerel, all right? Your herring, all right? Tuna, whiting, flounder, all right? It does not say catfish, all right? This is for you Southern Jake, you Southern tribe. This is not catfish, all right?